So I recently made a video talking about this like Crusty Roblox streamer who goes by powEnvy on TikTok, and the whole point of my video was basically to show that the guy was actually kind of a smart, self-aware troll who was posting videos of his like disgusting bedroom with roaches and stuff like that, when in reality, I mean, he was that disgusting. There was like clearly roaches in the room, but he was playing it up for content. He was trying to get attention and it was working for him, and apparently he's making some considerable amount of money on TikTok, considering that he's still doing it to this day, and I think he has some sponsorships or something like that. Well, as it turns out, this guy has been involved in a little bit of drama with a girl that he collabed with, and apparently it's kind of not going in his favor. Obviously, he has a much bigger audience, so you would think that they're going to support him, but it seems like he doesn't really have a lot to say in response to what she said. But we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves here. Who are the characters involved in this? So obviously we know who powEnvy is, but what about this girl right here? What about this girl? They've been doing a lot of content together, as we can see.
Helping powEnvy get flexible. For those of you that don't know, I'm actually a personal trainer, so I wanted to start off teaching him how to do bow and arrow, but his form wasn't that great. So then we moved on to some high kicks, but he couldn't quite get his knee up to the height that we wanted, so we decided maybe to just give up on that. Then he started flexing the watch he refused to buy me, which made me kind of mad, so we moved on to middle splits. Unfortunately, he was still a little bit stiff, so we decided that wasn't the move and moved on to squats. But his form was more so resembling that of a Discord moderator and not exactly demonstrating athleticism, which sent me into a bit of a mental breakdown. Then he said his bones were feeling a little bit soft, so we decided to lay out a blanket for him. I wanted to help him with his strength to do some active stretches, so we tried some unilateral leg lifts, but he couldn't quite get it. Then he got a little mad at me. So we moved on to some core work, and I decided to try and show him some levers, but he couldn't quite do it.
So obviously what they did here is pretty good bait, you know, getting like a cute girl to hang out with this guy that looks like him. Obviously is going to be good. And as a result, the entire comment section is literally all people saying things like, what am I doing wrong? Bro's Riz is unmatched. Is he rich or something? I need answers on this. I need a TED talk from this guy on Riz. And these are funny comments, but the obvious answer is that, I mean, either he paid her or they're just doing like a collaborative thing to mutually benefit both of them. And if you look up, you know, him, there's a lot of stuff of them together. We can see learning to be a kitten here with her and him like hanging out, which is just I mean, they definitely got the cringe content they wanted to get. Here we have them again. Here we have this freaking goober responding.
Get another girlfriend, like I'm actually in shock.
Hi guys, today I'm learning how to be a kitten.
How did this happen? Like I actually can't comprehend this. What is going on?
Bro, is this what like commentary channels are like on TikTok? What? He's not actually even saying anything. He's just like, whoa, that's actually crazy, guys. That's actually crazy. Why does he sound like that?
You know those kids that go in the Walmart or Target and do a stupid prank and they think they're gonna be famous after it?
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, it's epic. That's actually epic. What even is this? Why is he filming?
Guys, it's official. FuzzyTube is back.
I love people watching me shower.
So FuzzyTube just did one of his first streams back. And honestly, I don't know how long this man's gonna last.
Why do you have to talk like that? Like, you could have talked literally any way, and you probably would have been fine. But instead, you talk like you're having a fucking stroke. Instead, you talk like you just did 30 lines of coke.
Guys, it's official. I have my first real hater. Just take a look. So the YouTuber Dream is mad at us because...
Wait, can I replicate this? Hold on, wait. I'll be right back. I need to go get a silly hat for this.
Okay, guys, so today Dream actually ended up responding to the allegations, guys.
30-second clip of Dream.
And it's actually kind of crazy what he said, guys. Like, you know those kids who are like Dream fans, man? Like, it's just kind of crazy, guys.
Is that what I need to do to be fucking famous? God fucking damn it! But these two did a ton of collabs together, and then they got posted, and it seemed like everything was fine, which is just like what powEnvy had done with that other girl. I think her name is like Madison or Madison or whatever. I mean, the videos did really well, actually. A lot of people like them. They were some of the most viewed videos he had done recently. And then she puts out this video on her YouTube channel, like exposing him. This video is titled Nightmare Collab with powEnvy, full story. We've got her sitting on her floor here. Very professional, but I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't really know what we're going to get into here. The comment section, this person says, also, you knew ketamine would put you in a different mindset, yet you still took it. I don't think a judge would dignify that. Jesus. I feel bad for you, but bro, winning the 60 in TV at a strip club was kind of funny. You sound mad that you got finessed in a business transaction. You should hire a manager who knows how to handle contracts and negotiations successfully on your behalf. I guess we're just going to see what we're getting into here, and yeah.
Without further ado, I'm gonna
Just don't do that. I don't endorse that. No more. I wouldn't even burp in a way that gross on YouTube, okay? Stop. No. No!
tell the story beginning to end from my perspective, just to keep it simple. Yeah, there's a Reddit story. If you find it cool.
We're gonna put you on
powEnvy posted
1.5.
up on his Instagram story about a month ago, basically saying, oh, I need a cute girl to do a collab with. So I swiped up, slid into his Discord, and we got to talking. During our initial conversations, he told me that we would do a collab where I would essentially give him 30 to 40% of my revenue. He would make 5 videos. It would be fun. I'd get a lot of exposure. And we made this contract with a third party, which is his sponsor, which is essentially his content sugar daddy. And his end of the deal was that he would get his business promoted in 3 of the 5 videos that we made. Once we actually got to the negotiations, it quickly became extremely high pressure sales tactics and just straight up predatory. They added clauses that only protected their best interests. One of them was that Jacob would own all of the rights to 100% of the content, Jacob being powEnvy.
So the struggle with something like this is just I wish we could see these contracts or have any proof that this happened, because I mean this entire video, I mean this part definitely could be real, but I'm scrubbing through now and I don't seem to see a single screenshot or proof of anything. So it's hard to really believe this if it's even true. As far as it being let's say it was predatory. I mean, she didn't have to sign it. She evidently chose to sign it and do the content with him. So I mean, that is, that comment was phrasing it in a bit of a mean way, but I think that, if she didn't want to get into that contract, she could have just not signed it if there weren't clauses to protect her. And once again, I would like to see some proof of this when we really have none.
When I asked him about that, he told me it was just that I couldn't DMCA strike him, but he didn't mention anything about credits. And I don't know if this was malicious or not, but he did not credit me in 3 of the 5 videos that he put on TikTok and Instagram until I called him out for it. But by then, the damage was already done, and it is what it is.
That is pretty shitty if that's real. I guess, I don't know. Should I be asking for proof of that? Probably. I guess with that one thing, I'll probably take her word for it because the standard of proof is so low. And I mean, realistically, for her to lie about something like that, it would be pretty silly. When it's so easily disprovable, just with Wayback Machine type stuff. But yeah, I mean, that sounds like a pretty thing to do. But once again, I mean, I'm not really invested in powEnvy being a good person, and I don't know that anyone else is, which is probably why. I mean, 12 days ago, 13,000 views. I don't think people aren't really following powEnvy to see how good of a person he is. Oh wow, so he posted a response. I guess I'm spoiling the future here a little bit, but it got 260,000 likes. Oh my god. Are people actually watching this? Are people invested in his character and who he is? I'm an optimistic person, so having someone we tried our best to take care of just completely take advantage of me was really unsettling. Sorry if you were deceived by her. #powEnvy. Wow. All right, we're getting a little bit too ahead of ourselves here. We'll keep watching her video.
It sucked because one of them was the one that I storyboarded, which also was the most viral one that we made together, Learning to be a Kitten. The negotiations were more we have plenty of people that would love to do this. We don't need you. There are plenty of girls willing to do this. You shouldn't argue with people that have all the cards. Just super, super scummy things. I'm prescribed ketamine for my depression.
Okay, before we get into the ketamine thing, I would say it's probably for the best that she does not work with them in that case, because I mean, it's not like she needs them for success, obviously hindsight's 2020, but if you're doing business with someone and they're pressuring you already into getting into some kind of predatory contract or something you just don't want to be involved in, I mean, just get out, there's really no reason to do that. And if you look at this girl's stuff, let's see here. We'll check her Instagram. I mean, she's got let's see how many followers, 100,000 followers. It's not like she really needs him for success anyway, right? Realistically.
I get into that. But at the time of us drawing up this contract and negotiating, I was actually under the influence of ketamine, prescribed ketamine, chill. And I did state that to them prior to our negotiations. But yeah, that definitely influenced my decision making and all of this. I definitely was more easily manipulated at the time. Anyways, about a month later,
So the problem with this easily manipulated comment is, even if they did know that, if you're prescribed it, then they're probably under the assumption that you're able to make agreements for documents and shit like that. They're probably not they're probably not thinking that they're manipulating somebody who's under the influence of drugs. If you were prescribed it, they probably are assuming that everything's okay and you're in your right mind. And if you're not in your right mind when you're on ketamine, then you probably should have the foresight to not do business deals. Realistically, is kind of my thoughts on that particular thing. Maybe for some people pharmaceuticals are a way to cure depression or help depression. I don't think that's the case for most people. I think you should be very, very cautious of that stuff, but that's what you want to do. You can totally do that. That's your choice. I'm not going to go on too big of a tangent here. But with that being said, if you know that being on that stuff can maybe make you make poor choices, then probably get off it, or just if you're going to be on it, don't make business agreements while on it, or maybe maybe just talk to someone else to take a look at it or something. Because I think it's hard to say that powEnvy took advantage of you while you were on ketamine when you were prescribed it. Like, am I taking advantage of someone who's on Lexapro if I get in a business deal with them? You would never say that, right?
Decision making and all of this, I definitely was more easily manipulated at the time. Anyways, about a month later, I'm flown out to see him. By the time I get to the airport, he basically told me the night before, just spam call me. Hopefully I'll wake up because I don't want to set an alarm and pick you up from the airport. So I was like, okay, whatever.
I mean, that is like retarded and unprofessional. I guess I'm not totally shocked that this guy did that. Obviously, his thing is a character, but it's not that much of a character. Like, he is probably just like a lazy stoner type or something who sits around all day and plays League of Legends or something. That wouldn't really shock me, but that is pretty ridiculously unprofessional.
If you can't be bothered to pick me up, I'll just Uber to your place. And he's like, yeah, just come through the back door. So I Uber to his place, I get to the back door, and that shit's locked. His roommate answers, she points me in the direction of his bedroom. I go in, bro is on the bed, and one of the first things he says to me is, oh, what was your name again? I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. He told me to go upstairs, put my bags down, and he'll be out of bed in like 20 minutes. Check-in at the Airbnb wasn't gonna be until like 3 p.m., so we'd have to chill there for a couple of hours. I said, okay, whatever. So I go upstairs, I put my bags down. I'm thinking, okay, in 20 minutes, he'll sit down, we'll start storyboarding, we'll start concept planning. Bro doesn't come upstairs until like 2 hours later. Once he did come upstairs, he wasn't really interested in.
Wait, 2 hours? He literally doesn't give a fuck about your time. I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm iffy on if this video even needed to be made. But that's pretty crazy. That guy, I mean, he just sounds like a nightmare to work with. I mean, I guess if anything, this is just kind of a cautionary tale of like probably not to work with this powEnvy guy or whatever again, because he's just like, he just sleeps in for hours and it's kind of hard to work with, which is funny because I actually recently asked this guy to do a collab, and hopefully he still honors that he agreed to that. But I imagine, I mean, this could definitely be a potential issue that you would go through if you're working with someone like this who just takes hours and hours. That would piss me off so bad. I would be like raging. Like, people who are not punctual, people who take way too much time or like can't meet deadlines, like that drives me up a wall. Okay, that drives me up a goddamn wall. You guys have not truly seen me angry, okay? You think you see me angry in YouTube videos, you will see me psychotically angry when someone is hours late. So I mean, I understand her frustration with that one.
Talking about anything productive, and then he started playing League of Legends and proceeded to ignore me until it was time to leave for the Airbnb, which was several hours later. His roommate ended up driving us to the Airbnb. He was the sketchiest driver I've ever seen, but that's besides the point. Okay, he's cool. I like his roommate. He's actually really chill. He has 2 roommates, by the way, but not the point here. Okay, I'm gonna keep both of their names out of this completely. Once we got to the Airbnb, it was really nice and everything seemed fine. We didn't do anything productive that day at all. We did nothing. The next day, we actually started filming. I storyboarded like three of the 5 videos that we made, which is whatever. Okay, he basically had nothing to contribute, and I tried, fitting in his sponsor's promotion and like trying to storyboard where to fit his advertisement in, and all he had to say was, oh, we'll figure it out. Later that night, Jacob and his sponsor wanted to go to the strip club, which is like, okay, whatever, you know what, I personally, I love the ladies, so I'm down. His sponsor was drinking, and I told him, I'm really uncomfortable with him driving. I told his sponsor that to his face. It's like, I can't condone this, like, you shouldn't be driving. He's like, no, it's fine. I should have stopped him. The second I said I was uncomfortable, he just took another shot. I was like, okay, whatever. We go to the strip club.
Driving? Wait, doing shots and immediately driving, or doing shots while driving? That is unreal. That is so funny. Okay, obviously that's bad, but this just sounds like a cartoon weekend. Like, you get there, he's like, I can't wake up on time for you to get here, so just like come inside. You get there and it's locked and his roommate lets you in. You go to do work with him. He's like, I'll be up in 20 minutes. He takes 2 hours. He plays League of Legends all day. He doesn't do what he's supposed to do. His roommate who drives him around or whatever, or his sponsor, whatever the this guy is, he drunk drives to the strip club. I mean, this is like cartoonishly dumb, the way that this has gone so far.
And you know what? Bro wins a fucking 60-inch TV at the strip club. Like, he actually won a raffle. That just, not the point. Okay, I'm talking to a sponsor in the club, and I'm like, at what point is your 2 private dances considered cheating? And he's like, oh, I bring my girl to the club all the time. Like, she's fine. She doesn't care. I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, I mean, if I was gonna another girl, like, I would just tell my girl. And I'm like, well, how would you feel if she did the same? He's like, what do you think? Like, I have no idea, genuinely no clue. Like, if that's your dynamic, whatever. And he's like, absolutely not. But I would never. But head, that's different. Out of everyone in the situation, I hate his sponsor the most, the absolute most. Girl was disgusting, misogynistic, straight up like predatory, just like the most.
What do you mean by predatory? I wish she would elaborate on the predatory thing. I mean, maybe she will, but Misogynistic.
It's like narcissistic individual I've ever met in my life. But we haul Jacob's.
Once again, I mean, the problem with this is I just wish there was any proof that any of this happened, because this is just her account, and I don't know if we should trust this person. Not saying we necessarily shouldn't trust her. You can give her some benefit of the doubt, but if I hear a story like this, I'm probably going to want to see some kind of evidence amounting to something. And as of now, I mean, we haven't really seen anything in the way of proof. And, in fairness, it's hard to provide proof with a story like this because it happened, I mean, I guess behind closed doors is one way to put it. It happened like off the record. She wasn't, just expecting to need to film crazy stuff like this happening. But at the same time, for people to take it seriously, they're going to want to see proof. And even beyond that, the person you're exposing is not someone who is really known for being like morally righteous, right? He's known as the disgusting streamer. I mean, we see him right here. powEnvy, the rise of the world's dirtiest streamer. Your average streamer. I interviewed the most disgusting Roblox streamer. Like, that's what he's known for. And that's why people watch it. He has kind of like one of these degenerate, meta-ironic troll audiences. They don't really give a
stupid TV back to the Airbnb. And the next day, we needed to get the TV from the Airbnb in downtown Houston back to his house. The cars that we had were too small, so me and my significant other paid for an Uber XL to Uber his TV back to his place. And in exchange, he was going to pay for the Ubers to and from the mall that we were going to be filming at. He did not pay for the Uber back from the mall. Overall, we literally spent like hundreds in Ubers, but that's besides the point. Bro was fiending for the nicotine and made us go to a vape shop. And I was literally like, okay, I'm going to wait in the car. And he was like, no, come in. And I'm like, I'm 20. They're going to ID me. He was like, no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. $1,000, they're not gonna ID you. I'm like, bro, $1,000 on the table right now. Shake on it. He goes,
So the thing I don't get is, I mean, some details of the story are just so like, who cares? Like you wanted to go in the vape, you wanted to go in the vape shop or whatever. Like it didn't really work out like in your favor because he tried to get you to go in and you didn't want to go in. Like it just doesn't fucking matter. Like the real part to me that's interesting is the contract. If we could get a contract, that would be good. The sponsor thing would be good as far as that guy supposedly drunk driving. I mean, that's really it. Like I don't really care about literally most of this.
Just respect me IRL, please. So his roommates have a couple cats, right? And I mean, Jacob pays the rent, I suppose. So like, it's in his right to tell his roommates, pay the pet fee or figure it out. Okay. I get the cats have been destructive, but like the whole time that I was there, he was literally chasing the cats around, like threatening to like cook them up, threatening to like chop their paws off, threatening to throw them out the window, just like let them out and like not tell his roommates, even though 2 or 3 of them were registered as like emotional support animals. Just like making the worst comments. At one point he chased them around, like locked one of them in his roommate's room while she wasn't like home. And he just started like spraying the cat with a water bottle because I suppose the cat had like chewed up the carpet, but like that's not going to teach a cat anything. I told him like, dude, just get like the bitter spray and spray the carpet where the cat is chewing up. Like it was just like I've never seen that type of like animal cruelty before. It was just off-putting, I guess. I don't know. It was just bad. It was bad. Racist. Not elaborating. The R slur used more times than I can count.
This is okay. Man. Oh, man. This is just this is the thing though. Like it just doesn't, who cares? Like he said like does that really matter, bro? Does that really matter? Like, not really. Is that like a testament to how he's a bad person? No, it's not. I mean, this video, just not. I don't know. I'm just, I'm watching it. I'm not really fucking with it. I don't really see why it needed to exist. I mean, I guess we'll see how good powEnvy's response is, but the worst thing that I'm getting from this is that he's hard to work with, and I'm kind of anticipating that is probably true if I end up, doing a video with this guy in real life, filming with him or whatever. But I probably could have guessed that from the start off rip or whatever you want to call it, as the kiddos say. I don't really care that he used the R slur. I don't really care about the things he said about women in general. I just don't care. I don't care. And frankly, I mean, that's kind of what I expected from from this guy. I mean, come on.
The worst things said about women in general. I mean, like, I think he just collectively refers to women as okay. Bro is the definition of like a Discord moderator. But all that aside, here's the legalities of the contract, I suppose, and pretty much why we voided it. 1, it's a Google Doc, which is most of the time legally inadmissible. They're easily edited, and they're flimsy. They're not notarized. Ours certainly wasn't. And it's not a true e-signature. The signature, so to speak, was an image uploaded onto a field. There's a reason why people pay for services like DocuSign, because it's a true e-signature that requires the person to trace with their mouse or type, which generates the cursive for them, which is it essentially proves that the party was actually present signing in some way, shape, or form. Okay, but an image uploaded can't really prove that the party was the one that actually generated.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, to me, it just sounds like he's kind of an idiot, and whoever he's working with is not good at figuring out how to sign documents over the internet and like has zero business experience. That's probably accurate, but I mean, once again, it's just kind of, I don't know. Look at him. You take one look. You think this guy knows what DocuSign is? You think I know what DocuSign is? I barely know what DocuSign is, okay? And I do this for a living. I should know. I barely know. You think this guy knows? The answer is no.
That signature, it's just legally inadmissible. Also, because it's easily editable, I actually do have editing privileges, and so I didn't tamper with it, obviously, but I was able to look back at the edit history and take screenshots of every single edit made, and his sponsor was actually the one that typed my full name in the first field, and his sponsor, again, was the one that fitted the image into the field where it belonged. So technically, I never actually signed anything. Prior to us drawing up the contract, I had stated that I was on my prescribed ketamine, so I wasn't even in a state of mind to be doing anything legal at the time. They referred to me.
But once again, I don't think it makes sense to, like, that's on you. That's not on them. That's your prerogative, your responsibility to figure out.
By the wrong alias. In the title of the document, they called me Sour Cream. And then in the body of the document, they were referring to me as XX Sour Noodles XX. But the alias that I was acting under and the account that he was doing the actual collab with was XX Sour _ Noodles XX. There is an opt-out clause in the document, which automatically makes it, like, completely legally admissible. I mean, it's really hard to hold somebody to any contractual obligations when there is a clause allowing them to withdraw from their promises. It's just flimsy. And Jacob was the one that breached the contract first by taking sole ownership of the videos and then neglecting to include his sponsor's advertisements in the videos. First person to breach contract automatically relieves all other parties of their contractual obligations. I could argue intent to sign.
Okay, I mean, this is just, we're getting boring here.
Considering he didn't give me credit for 3 of the videos and he put me through all of that. This whole thing just felt like 100% conspiracy in my opinion. When you have you in the position of power with a larger platform and your sponsor in another position of power approaching me, you understand that there's a difference here. You two clearly.
So here's the thing I actually disagree with. I don't really see a big power imbalance because you were under no obligation to work with this guy. You were under zero obligation to work with this guy at all. You chose to work with him because you thought it would, further your career. You saw documents that you say you weren't in the right state of mind, but that's not their responsibility. That's your responsibility to know that you're in the right state of mind when you sign documents. You chose to sign it. You chose to do the collab. You didn't really like how it went. And that's fair that you had a experience. I'm sure he's hard to work with, but I would chalk this up way more to, just based on the fact that he was like sleeping when you got there. Like, does this seem like somebody who's a criminal mastermind, or does it seem like somebody who's just like an incompetent, bumbling fool? I would say he's probably an incompetent, bumbling fool. He's probably just a straight up dumbass. Certain parts of this video were interesting. I'm not going to say all of it didn't need to exist. The drunk driving thing was especially crazy. That definitely puts you in actual physical danger, and I think more people need to take, vehicular incidents seriously. And I think drunk driving is really, 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 really bad thing to do. But I will also say that I think that a lot of this video was just kind of unnecessary and didn't need to exist. Now, with that being said, powEnvy has decided to respond to this, and I'm curious what he has to say about these allegations. It's 3 minutes long, so it's pretty short.
There have been allegations against me by someone that I collaborated with recently. Let's just start at the beginning because I don't really know where else to start, but I did put on my story, I'm looking for someone to collaborate with for these sort of videos. Now, this is an important part of this, okay? I wanted 30% of revenue she got after her average. So she'd get what she normally got, and then any surplus she gained from our collaboration, I would get 30% of. Later on, we raised the figure to 70% just because my friend said it was more reasonable that I asked for that because of how much she probably would get, and you'll see she did get it. 70%.
Now, this is interesting, but once again, I guess I just wish there was some proof involved. So far, we're just in a he said, she said situation, and it's over like a relatively simple business disagreement as well, which seems to be the biggest thing, and then all this other stuff is just kind of tacked onto that.
So I would get 70% of any surplus outside of what she normally got in a month, which is fair if you ask me. And it lasted for 1 month. After 1 month, ties are cut, she keeps everything 100%, she's back to normal.
Well, obviously you say she's back, but TikToks don't really get views after, 1 week, so it's not like that's really that that big of a deal in her favor. I get what you're saying, I do, but it's just not, it doesn't really, like, you're not really giving her anything with that. Don't pretend.
Normal. It's just for the first month after the videos, I would get my share, and that's how I was paid for this.
Clauses that only protected their best interests. One of them.
That's not true. We had clauses that definitely protected her interest too, like being able to leave the contract at any point, which she did.
I was actually under.
Once again, I wish we just had this contract, obviously unsigned. We don't need their signatures and information, but I wish we just had some example of this contract.
The influence of ketamine.
It's official. All right, I saved it. Looking forward to it.
It was not under the influence. I have screenshots to prove it. She told us that she was not on it, and she had actually forgotten to take it.
My dog's skinny AF. It ain't the move for me. Understandable. Also, I'm actually order the ticket tomorrow morning. Forgot I had to take ketamine tonight. So I guess here, wait, was she under the influence though? I'm gonna order the ticket tomorrow morning. Oh, okay. So she's saying she's gonna do it in the morning. So she's saying, I'm going to take ketamine tonight, and tomorrow I'm going to order the ticket. So, I mean, that would actually be a point in his favor. He had a screenshot.
Taken it. So after we signed the contract, she went, left the call, and took it. That's just a straight up lie.
I definitely was more...
I mean, that DM did seem to corroborate that little story. Obviously, I mean, there could be some other DM that changes things, but that definitely is compelling in his favor.
Contract. She went, left the call, and took it. That's just a straight up lie.
I definitely was more easily manipulated at the time.
Well, you actually weren't, because you weren't under anything. You were dead sober, and you're lying about this. So that's kind of weird. Once she started gaining a lot of money from this, because her, of course she started making more money. That's when she started getting a little sketchy with us. Started causing little conflicts here and there, stirring up drama. And actually, I have a screenshot from her boyfriend who DM'd me and said, hey, I'm so sorry that she's being really hard.
Whoa, wait. Want to apologize again for Cecilia being a bit mad and hard to deal with. We had a long day and she just got a bit pressed about it. Glad things are getting resolved though. All good, you're a goat. Hard
to work with. She's under a lot of stress. So I thought that was nice, and I was like, oh, okay. She is just stressed. We'll just let this go. No worries. So even her boyfriend was aware of the fact that she was kind of acting crazy. I don't like that word. I don't like to...
Yeah, you do. Come on, buddy. Yeah, you do. Come on. I don't like to have hatred. Come on. Let it come out.
Hatred towards people. But when she's making stuff up, it's genuinely wicked behavior. So, her boyfriend was even apologizing for her actions. And this was after she had left. This was after the entire trip had already occurred, where apparently, according to her, it was a nightmare. There were some other things she alleged, such as me saying I will eat my roommate's cats. That just didn't happen. I'm sorry. Thanks for making it this far in. I hope you guys can see my...
To be honest, I assume that comment was probably just a joke or something. It's hard to say, but unless we have evidence that he likes to eat cats, it probably was a joke.
And I'll answer any top comments if you guys have any more questions about this whole thing. But the point is, most of it's made up. I'm not the perfect person, but I definitely didn't do 99.9% of what she accused me of. She's even been begging Moist Critical to make videos on it, because all she wants is more attention. She's hoping that she can get more attention to her social medias to try and give her a platform by leeching off of my platform, which just isn't the way to go about it. Cecilia, if you're watching this, just go your own way. Stop trying to fake drama. It's not going to work.
I mean, this is an interesting response. He seems to be much less vindictive than she was, for sure. It's hard for me to tell who is in the right 100%. If that thing about the sponsor driving them drunk is true, that's pretty crazy. But everything else seems to be, based on that one ketamine thing is definitely a point in his favor. That kind of gets at her reliability a little bit. Now, a little bit of a full disclosure. Now that the video is wrapping up, I've actually talked to this girl a little bit. And I'm actually going to send her a message after I finish recording this video, rapping, to be like, hey, I think I'm about to shit on you in a video a little bit, because when I had done the initial powEnvy video, she messaged me on Instagram and said something to the effect of like, hey, this guy's actually crazy, here's why, blah blah blah, explanation. Send me her video. I watched it. At some point we had like a video call where she elaborated a little bit more, and I had told her that I was planning to do a video with him in real life. So that's kind of where I'm at in this situation. But initially, from what she told me, I had sort of a stronger slant against him, I think. And now, based on watching her video and then watching his and seeing the screenshot that he provided about the ketamine thing, I'm kind of leaning more towards he probably is more in the right in this situation, or at least less in the wrong than she made it out to be initially. Yeah, that's my involvement in all of this. I didn't even know she was trying to get critical to make a video about it, but she definitely asked me to. But yeah, that's about the whole story. If you guys liked the video, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye. And be sure to become a member. For $5 a month, they get the members-only podcasts and exclusive videos that only members get. Thanks so much for your support.